What happens when the most famous plural family in America finally fractures? What happens when love, loyalty, and legacy collide on national television? This season, the Browns face choices that will redefine everything they once stood for. From heartbreak to new beginnings, this is the story of how Sister Wives became more than just reality TV. It became a mirror for every woman asking, when is it finally time to choose myself? And by the end, fans will be furious at what really happens behind closed doors.
So just do that when you walk in tonight.
What's your love language?
My love language is physical touch. He's handsome, so there's that.
You and Kody could hang out.
Yeah.
For years, Meri has been the outsider present, yet distant. But now, she takes her first terrifying step back into the dating world. A speed dating event. A name tag. A room full of strangers. The woman who once clung to a broken marriage is suddenly facing a brand new kind of rejection. But what happens when Meri realizes not everyone is ready to date a sister wife? Meanwhile, Janelle, calm, steady, the peacemaker, finally breaks. A trip to New Orleans changes everything. Surrounded by freedom, music, and women who own their independence, Janelle decides it's time for a spiritual divorce. But is freedom really freedom when your family is left behind? Christine, once weighed down by decades of disappointment, is now glowing. She and David are not just dating, they are planning a wedding. Fans cheered when she finally walked away from Kody. But now, whispers grow louder. Is this new romance moving too fast? And what happens when David enters a world he never asked for? Reality TV infamy. The internet loves him, but will America's most complicated family accept him? And then there's Kody, once the center of this family's orbit, now a man rejected by every woman he thought would stand by him forever. Angry. Alone. Fans wonder, is this karma, or is this a man finally realizing the cost of his own control? But the biggest betrayal hasn't even been revealed yet. As the season builds to its peak, one truth shatters the internet. The sister wives aren't just moving on, they're rewriting the rules of love, religion, and family legacy. What was once a story about togetherness has become a raw, painful truth about survival. And fans? They don't hold back. Social media explodes. Some cheer Christine's freedom. Others accuse Meri of being desperate. And Kody? He faces the harshest backlash of all, viewers calling him the villain of his own story. But are fans ready for what comes next? Because the Browns are not done yet. This isn't just about one family. It's about women everywhere. Women who gave decades to a marriage, only to ask, when is it my turn? It's about resilience, reinvention, and the radical idea that starting over is possible at any age. And that's why Sister Wives remains more than just TV, it's a cultural revolution in real time. So what do you think? Did Christine move on too fast? Is Meri brave for dating, or is it too soon? And is Kody truly the villain, or just another man caught in his own ego? Subscribe now for deep dives into Sister Wives, real stories of women reclaiming their power, and every shocking twist from reality TV's most dramatic family. Because if you think this season is explosive, you haven't seen anything yet. Let's deep dive in full details. Part 2. Imagine building a life for decades, only to watch it fracture in a single year. The Browns, once the face of modern plural marriage in America, are now at war with themselves. And this season, the cracks become impossible to hide. But what really led to this collapse? And why are millions of women across America saying, I see myself in their pain? When Sister Wives premiered in 2010, the Browns weren't just a family. They were pioneers, bringing the secretive world of plural marriage into American living rooms. 4 wives, 1 husband, 18 children. It was marketed as love multiplied. But over the years, fans saw the truth: love divided. In those first seasons, Christine was the bubbly caregiver, Janelle the practical partner, Meri the legal first wife, and Robin the newcomer. But as time passed, roles blurred, and hearts broke. And now, Each wife faces a future without the man who once united them. Meri's journey is perhaps the most fragile. After years of loneliness and a catfishing scandal that made national headlines, Meri steps into a speed dating event. Her hands shake as she pins on a name tag. Her smile hides a storm of fear. For women everywhere who've been told they're too old, too broken, or too late, Meri becomes a mirror. But what if rejection isn't the end, but the beginning? Janelle, the quiet backbone of the family, shocks everyone. On a trip to New Orleans, a city famous for rebirth, she finally says the words fans waited years to hear: "I want out." But in polygamy, divorce isn't just legal, it's spiritual. For Janelle, it isn't about paperwork. It's about reclaiming a soul she gave away decades ago. As jazz music swirls around her, she realizes her marriage ended long before she admitted it. But freedom always comes with a price. Christine's storyline feels like a fairy tale, at least on the surface. Fans cheered when she introduced David. His calmness, his devotion, his respect, it was everything she never received from Kody. But under the celebration lies unease. Reddit threads debate: is Christine moving too fast? YouTube comments flood with warnings: don't let history repeat itself. Because the internet knows every fairy tale has shadows. And then there's Kody. Once proud, once certain, now left behind. In past seasons, Kody demanded control, houses, rules, loyalty. But now, the women he once led are rewriting the script. His frustration turns to anger. His anger, to isolation. In one haunting scene, Kody admits, "Maybe I was too selfish." For millions of viewers, it was too little, too late. But the season's most shocking twist isn't his downfall. The true climax comes not in a fight, but in a quiet revelation. The sister wives aren't just leaving Kody. They're leaving the faith system that once bound them. What began as a spiritual movement ends as a rebellion. Christine remarries. Janelle reclaims independence. Meri redefines herself. And suddenly, the world sees, plural marriage was never the dream. It was the cage. And fans? They explode with reaction. Facebook comment sections fill with rage toward Kody. Reddit explodes with threads celebrating Christine's glow-up. On YouTube, fan edits of Janelle's strength go viral. And women across America say the same thing: we stayed too long in bad marriages, just like them. This isn't just reality TV. It's cultural commentary. It's a generational conversation about love, faith, and when to walk away. In the end, Sister Wives is no longer about Kody. It's about Meri's bravery, Janelle's freedom, Christine's joy, and about every woman who chooses herself after years of sacrifice. Because the real Sister Wives story was never about polygamy. It was about survival. So now it's your turn. Do you believe Christine moved on too fast? Was Meri's speed dating brave or heartbreaking? And is Janelle's freedom a lesson for all of us? Hit like if you believe in second chances. Subscribe for deep dives into Sister Wives and other reality TV unravelings. And don't miss our next episode, The Untold Secrets of Robyn and Kody's Last Stand. Because the story of Sister Wives is